Hello everyone again. Today, as I said, we are going to start making our game engine. And this game engine, I've seen some other people doing, and they do it almost as I do, so it's not very different from a very advanced game. So let's start by creating a new class and call it game panel. And once that is done, let's import some stuff. First of all, import java.auth and that little star. And the second thing we need to import is the javax swing .jpanel. And what I'm going to do is insert this jpanel into our main class here. So let's start by creating a variable that refers to this class, and to do that just go into your main class and write game panel and give it a name, so gp, and inside your constructor write gp it's equals to a new game panel, and right in the end of your constructor just do add and add the gp. And now the main yes, I forgot to do this, but now your main class will not be more touch. This is how the main class will stay. Now go back to your game panel and we need to extend this, so extends as a jpanel. And if you save it, you can see that the error is gone. I'm sorry. So I will leave here some space to the variables, and I will start by creating the constructor. So public and game panel and now we need to do some methods that are built in jpanel. So the first one is set preferred size, and this method takes a dimension. So to do that, come here to our variable declarations and let's declare two variables. The first one is the width and the height, so static final int, because we are not going to change them, so they can be final and static. And the first one is the width, and it's going to be equals 500. As you see in our main, we said it was 500. And the height, it's equals to 400. And now the next thing we have to declare is our dimension, so static final, because we are not going to change it. And now instead of int or string we go dimension, and this is equals to, oh sorry, I forgot the name, so let's give it a name, dim. It's equals to a new dimension, and the parameters are the width and the height. So now here, as you can see, this takes the parameter dimension. If I can show you here, dimension. So we write dim in there, and the size for our jpanel it's 500 by 400. Now the second one is the set background, and this is to set a background color. So write color dot and choose a color. I'm going to choose white. I think I spell it wrong. So white, and that means that my panel is going to be white. That means my screen is white inside the window we just created in the last tutorial. Now we need to write two methods that are for the purpose, which are set focusable, and this is true because we want our game to run only when it's focusable. But when the window is focused, I mean, if I have this like this and I click outside of my window, I can't even write in here, so that's why we do this method. And the last one is request focus. So if it isn't focused, it will request focus, so this can turn on or off. So I think if we run it, we will see, yeah, our screen becomes white. And if I change this to black, you can see that our screen now it's black, and you can change it whatever color you want. I will leave mine white for now. So the constructor is done. Let's create some more variables, and this time they are for, well, we will do those variables. The variables I wanted to create is for the rendering system. I will do that in the next tutorial. This tutorial I will just create the engine, as I said. So to do the engine, let's create a method which is the start game. So private void start game. And what does the start game does? Well, first of all, let's create some variables. Let me just add a comment. Game variables, and let's create them. So the variables for the game are a private thread, and let's call it game, and the second one is a private volatile boolean, and let's call it running, and this is going to start at false. So what happens once we call this method, which is the start game, it's if the game it's equals to null, and this is or it isn't running. So it isn't running. This sign here means that the variable after it, it's like the opposite. So if this isn't, because if we do like this, this means that it is running. So if you place this sign, it isn't running. I think that's how I can explain. That's how I can explain it. And now, if this happens, the game is going to be equals to a new thread, this, because it's this thread and the game dot start. So as you can see, we have an error here because we need to do one thing. We need to implements runnable. Inside up here where we had the extends jpanel, we need to implement runnable, so this can run our thread. And as you can see, we have an error now because once we implement the runnable, we need to create a method, which is the method I'm going to show you right now, which is, well, public void run. And here it's going to do some things. I will show them in the later tutorial. But inside here we need to write while it's running. So while the game is running, this is what happens while the game is running. And now, because we have a start game here, we need to create a stop game. So public void stop game. And the stop game is a very simple method. It's just if it's running, then running equals false. So it stops running. And now let me check the time, 10 minutes. We are going good on time, so we need to create two methods and then we can end this tutorial. So the first one is a public void and it's called add notify, and this is a built-in method in jpanel, and let me just write this and then I will tell you what this does. So super dot add notify and then start game. So what this does is this tells our JFrame that our JPanel wants to be like in here. So this basically overrides the I can't explain it very well, but this tells that the game is ready to run and it started. So it replaces everything that's inside of here by this. That's why the screen let's change it to black. I don't know. And the last method I want to build in here is a public void log, and it takes an argument which is a string, and what this method does is this will system dot out dot print line, and this will print our strings. So if you want to call this from other classes, so let's say from this class, the main class, I could just come here and write gp.log and let's say hello, and this will help me debugging my program better. And as you can see, it just tells hello because we set it to do that. And well, hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is pretty much just the code to the beginning of the engine. In the next tutorial we'll teach you how to make our own rendering system, and that's going to allow us to do some neat things. So until the next episode guys, I hope you guys enjoyed and peace out.